Hello, people of the internet, and welcome back to the VHS Tapes podcast. And today, kind of like how we've had work horror stories and dumb customer stories in the past, but we got to keep renaming these each time. Today we're just gonna have like workplace rants, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. So, Bax is gonna trauma dump for us today.
Oh snap, trauma dumping, let's go. Yay, hooray. Alright, that was easy. I feel better now.
Let's see.
In my mind, I've already trauma dumped, so there we go. Is this the time where I get to talk about people putting a 6-ton mold on a painted ground? It's cool, it looked really cool.
A what now?
So the company I worked for, right, they had just painted the floor, but they have plastic injection molds and they need to change them out, so they need to put the molds somewhere. So they're like, okay, guys, put a piece of cardboard on the painted floor here and set the mold on top of the cardboard. Right, and this thing weighs 6 tons. It looked really cool when they took that thing off. You see this imprinted thing on the fresh paint. Just this giant...
Oh, no.
But it worked. They didn't get the mold dirty.
So yes, a whole bunch of these notes is pretty much all from the same place. I work at a grocery store still, and I'm gonna start with a recent one because I don't have it written and I don't want to forget it. So, customers are stupid. We have this wall in, I'm particularly in the produce department, and it's this whole wall. It's got all the the greens on it. You know, your lettuces, your spinach, carrots and all that. So there's bunches of carrots all tied together with the greens still on them. And then we have 2 bins that are like loose carrots. Now, the loose carrots I think are like 99 cents a pound. And the bunch of carrots, which is like, they're much thinner carrots, and they're all like tied up, are like $1.99 for the bunch. And this woman comes up to me, right? And she's like, yo, can I like break the greens off of this and just have the carrots? And I'm like, no, that's part of the item. You can't just do that. And I thought like maybe she's thinking that it's by the pound for some reason. I'm like, it's not by the pound. Like, if you break that off, it's not gonna change the price or anything. So, but you still can't break it off. She's like, yeah, but I don't want it. Breaks it off anyway, puts it in a bag, and I'm like, great, now it's going to be rung up as loose carrots. I'm like, you asked, can I do this? I said no, and you just like, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm like, I want to fucking...
It's just a formality when people have made up their mind.
Then just fucking do it.
Like when I ask for time off of work, it's just a formality so it looks good on paper. But if I'm not going to be there, I'm not going to be there.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Great. Now that means I got to tell them. Oh no, I crashed. Oh, here we go.
No, you're still here.
Me out. Heroin is a powerful drug. Okay. So this dude that was at the company I worked at, he decides he got to shoot himself up, right? So he goes in the toilet, he sits on it, and he passes out naked, and they find him, and the needle's still stuck in his arm, and they revived him.
He passed... What?
He overdosed.
Okay, but like, why was he naked?
I guess you get hot when you shoot yourself up with heroin. So they found him naked, passed out on a toilet with a needle in his arm, so they revived him, and then he was never heard from again.
Oh.
Oh, and then there's the time... Okay, so my company taught me how to step onto a sidewalk because we're stupid, right? So you take your right foot. It's got to be the right foot first. You place it flat on top of the curb that you're stepping on, and you shift your weight to it. Then you pick up your left foot, and you do the exact same thing, but on the left side. Oh, and they also taught me how to get out of my car, too. You start by first turning off the engine. Like, this stuff was detailed in graphic order. Graphic order, if that makes sense. You turn off the engine, unbuckle the seatbelt, take out your keys, open the door, you step out with your left foot, not your right. Turn and shift your weight forward. Take out your right foot, close the door, then you walk up to the curb.
That's dumb. So
This is an old job, though.
this one happened a couple years ago. And, so if you don't know, refrigerated trucks for like produce or I don't know, I guess like anything cold has a thing on it. It's called a reefer. It's, the refrigeration unit. It's just like a slang term, I guess, is apparently what I'm reading, because I looked up why is it called that. So in the summer, the truck is just trying to stay cold. But in the winter, it's gotta like keep the inside at a certain cold temperature, but I don't know how it works exactly. It can't let it get colder than that. Well, we got a delivery where it either failed or they forgot to turn it on. And it was in the middle of winter. And everything in that truck was frozen solid.
Let's go. Free ice pop.
Now certain things were okay. Like I think we got the potatoes out and it was like they were just cold. Because like it didn't like nothing got into the bag. And they're already like pretty dry, so it was fine. But like certain things we pulled out, like cucumbers, they were so cold that I could take them and bang them on a metal cart, and it sounded like metal hitting metal.
Right on.
The cauliflower were just rocks. And literally anything that like has a lot of moisture in it was just completely frozen solid. Some of our drinks or whatever that came in, because we got like those like fruit smoothie stuff and whatever. I think a lot of those were like really frozen up. And there's nothing that can be done at this point because like the product can't be put out because it's been like frost damaged essentially. So we brought everything in, they sorted we went through everything, we found what was okay and what wasn't. And it was a lot of that day saying like, oh, yeah, we had a bad delivery come in. Everything was frozen solid. So we had to throw all that item out. But really, it was in the back in the cooler. And we have all these bins, right? It's for, if you got bad product, you throw it in there. And it's usually like, maybe you're putting the tomatoes out and you find a bad tomato. You chuck that in one of the bins. And I think we got like 8 or so of them. But the problem is we had the entire refrigerated cooler just full of like 6 skids of frozen product that we had to fit in these bins. And that stuff sat there for a whole fucking week because we were filling the bins every day and like we still have 5 skids.
Let's go. Rotten fruit and vegetables.
It wasn't rotting, it was just frozen. It was sitting in the cooler, so
You should have sold them heavily discounted. People would buy it.
Funny enough, I did suggest that once. Well, years ago, I want to say maybe it was. I don't know what. I remember there were some fires in California or whatever, which is where our strawberries were coming from at the time. And we were out of strawberries for a little bit because, well, the place we got them from, their strawberry crop burned up. And, like, they were just not doing it. I was telling the assistant, like, we should have ordered them anyway. We could just, sell them like they're charred strawberries. It's a delicacy. And he's like, ugh. But yeah, it's like every day I was coming in, and I think I was working weekdays mostly at the time. So I was coming in and I was just like, just go in the back, just try to shove all you can in there. So I'm getting the wonderful job of opening out every package and just cramming it into these bins, and it was so fun. I'm literally getting paid to destroy product that's already destroyed.
I got to do that once.
I'm just taking cucumbers and I'm smashing them in half, and oh, it was so nice. And some of the stuff thawed to a point, so it was like not rock hard anymore, but it was still no good because of the frost damage. So I'm just like, I get like a thing of cauliflower. It's now softened, and I'm just like punching it to death. I turned it into cauliflower rice. It was so fun.
Out there trying to do food fighting. You could have sold it to schools for food fights.
I'm surprised we didn't, because like, here's a dark secret about produce. So if you ever go to a grocery store and you see these little containers and it's like chopped up strawberries or maybe it's a couple of different berries, don't buy that. That's stuff that's been reworked, as they call it. So what happened was they took a package and they found, oh, there's a moldy strawberry in here. So they take the moldy strawberry and throw that out. The rest of those strawberries have mold on them, though. It's just not visible yet. So they chop them up and they put them in that container and they sell them at a discount, knowing that they're moldy.
They're not moldy. They just have a skill issue. They're just not up to enough. Water won't solve. I've got the makings of a CEO right here.
I see. Oh, my hand is killing me.
Wash your stuff. Don't buy moldy food. I know one job I used to make parts for a Honda, but there's something wrong with like the paint line. So Honda tells us, like, hey, what gives? And we tell them what's up. So they come out to everyone's like, okay, guys, for today and today only, you can run bad parts. So we ran bad parts the whole day, just for that day. So if you bought a 2018-ish Honda car, it might be bad. Not the car itself, but the visor. Visor meter, what they were called? The place where the speedometer is. If it's silver looking and it's got defects, that's because we were allowed to run them bad.
Fortunately, my Honda is old.
Well, that's not compared to the other job I had. That one I actually messed with transmission parts. So we cut the parts down to the micron, and the gear was 300 microns out. It was too small. No, cut too deep. So I tell the quality dude, and he's like, yeah, this is bad, so we can't send him. But then the head honcho quality dude comes out and is like, wait a second, guys. I know this sounds wrong, but I know it's the right choice, but we're sending it anyway.
Bruh.
So we sent, 704 parts that were like that? So the potential that many cars with bad transmissions.
I think this is illegal.
And then the best part after that is that something else happened and the part was cut. It wasn't tall enough. It was cut too short. So they check him. It's like, that's good enough. Send him. They sent him. GM was very upset because they're like, yo, these parts are too short. What? They sent them all back, and that wasn't fun to deal with.
Yeah.
Because then we have to do extra steps to make sure they're cut the right way. But this job also only gave me 1 day off every 13 days. 2 days off a month. It'll kill you.
Yeah, so that sounds like ass.
There no more. I'm very happy about it.
Yes.
Raid Shadow Legends. There's your sponsorship.
No. Anyway, so
we're going to say the controversial stuff.
No controversy. Stop trying to get us canceled.
It would have gotten canceled if I shared.
So here's just another stupid customer. Well, it's a kid, but whatever. So it's closing time, and one thing I have to pick up is we got there's a few flowers that we have to like run to the back, and we have these glass vases sitting on this display, and I like put them on a cart, and I'm starting to push them back, and this like 3 or 4 year old is just like running around in circles and whatever. And he just like runs directly into the cart, and the vase just starts like tilting to the side like it's gonna fall off. But you know, I caught it or it just like stopped just in time. And the mother is just like, "Sweetie, like stop that! You're gonna break that." And like he's just giggling, having a good time. And I don't blame the kid. But he just runs in a circle again and then just hits the cart again and it goes to wobble again and then she just grabs him and like, stop it! The poor kiddo. He's just trying to have fun. But like, you almost broke the stuff.
Hit him with a newspaper. Fun is illegal.
No. Bad backs.
To be bad back. Someone's got to discipline these kids. Have you seen kids nowadays? There is no discipline anymore. All you parents out there, you know who you are. Discipline your children. All right, I'm done ranting. I'm very angry about it, actually.
Max says you're trying to get us canceled.
A little bit. I'm trying to give proper parenting advice. I'm not a parent, but I know a bad kid when I see it. Dag nabbit, I'll rant about this for hours if I could. No respect, no morals, no. Okay, that's not what this episode's about.
Yes. So tell us more about stupid garbage.
I once said the O word and got kicked off of a machine. The O word's called OSHA.
Oh.
So the machine I was running, it had no way of knowing if your hand is in between. It was I was working in a plant nursery. So I was bagging dirt with seeds in it to sell to people. But you could put your hand in between the sealer and the bag, and the machine would have no idea there's someone there. And if you hit the button, you would seal your hand in with the plastic bag, and the machine would burn real bad. So I said, this machine looks a lot like an OSHA violation. The next day I go in there, it's like, okay, you can't run this anymore, but we're going to have, since you way in the back, away from everybody on the fulfillment line. So I shipped things out to people instead of package them with the shady machinery that's in that place. Because there was, are you familiar with them nets that onions are in? Like them blue, strong plastic nets? Sometimes they're red.
What, for onions?
Yes, onions.
Yeah, I get those all the time. I get
So
these big bags.
the machine that packaged them sat on a rickety wooden skid. So you stand on this thing and you start tilting as this machine starts vibrating to package the onions. But you have to stand on the skid to get it to run.
He said the skid word.
Yes, the skid word. I hate wooden skids and pallets with burning passion.
Oh, hey, look, a shulker thing. I mean, not a shulker thing. I'm playing Minecraft. I just came across.
What does it have to do with wooden skids?
No, I went to. I'm getting my brain's confused.
The only cure for ADHD is meth. So you don't want no meth. So you gotta pay.
Why is this spider invisible?
What?
Spiders are bad enough. It's invisible.
All right. What does this have to do with the thing at hand? You're making me losing my train of thought.
I don't know.
Meth
yes.
people do meth. Cure ADHD. All right.
Bax very much hates wooden skids, so I make sure to take a picture every time I see one.
It hurts my soul.
In real life or in a game.
They break.
I even took him to a VR chat world that has wooden skids in it.
Or my soul, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Skulk Catalyst. That's what the block was. I was getting messed up by
garbage without creative.
No, it's not. You better not say that.
Absolute garbage. Creative mode is the only way to play that game.
No, be quiet. You're gonna get them mad.
Well, they're not gonna be able to kill me because I have unlimited lives because I'm in creative mode.
Not on my server, you don't.
You can spawn whatever you want, blow up whatever you want. I don't have to go around and pick up dirt to build a house.
But it's no fun that way. Unless you're like designing something specifically.
Dirt house.
I'm not building a dirt house. I build a house out of wood and cobblestone.
Which you can do.
Well, not cobblestone. I get stone, I smelt it, I turn it into stone bricks. I get some nice wood, I put that all together, it looks pretty cool. Then I go get the other stuff so I can have an enchanting table, an ender chest, all sorts of that other garbage. You just pulled it all together in creative. You didn't earn it. It might look cool, but you didn't work for it.
Why would I want to waste time when I could just have what I want right now?
One day I'm gonna tie you to a chair and force you to play Minecraft.
I already played Minecraft.
Legitimately.
I already played it legitimately.
No, you didn't. You played it in creative mode. That's not legitimately.
Then when my brother said, hey, it's got creative mode, I turned it back on and played it. That was pretty nice.
Anyway, let's see. Um, so there's cardboard and trash compactors, respectively, at my work. And it's mostly the cardboard one. People like to just put way too much cardboard in at one given time, and then the machine gets clogged. And then instead of doing something about it, they're just like, the next guy will get it. And the next guy always happens to be me.
I don't
And
know.
I got, I'm not,
It seems like it's strategically done.
yeah, almost.
You gotta just not do it. You
That's
know,
the problem. Is I gotta go get rid of cardboard, and I
you
find
just
it like
use your
that. I have
cardboard.
to.
You just drop it in front of it and say, "I'll let the next guy get
Yeah,
it."
you can't. If you do that, they will call you back because they know they can look at the cardboard and see what department it's from.
We'll change the number with a Sharpie.
That's not how it works. The box quite literally says like cabbages and cucumbers and
Or
shit.
change it. If it says cabbages, just cross it out and put not cabbages.
Oh,
Just write box.
you genius.
I mean, like if it says not cabbage, the company has to comply with what's written on the box.
Yeah.
And it's not a cabbage, it's an empty box. And it's not even cardboard, it's corrugated paper. So therefore, you don't have to bail it. The cardboard compactor is for cardboard only, not corrugated paper. So tell them that you don't bail corrugated paper.
It doesn't bale anything. It just compacts it.
That's what I mean.
A baler is different. That like it. I think that like. I think it also has a compacting thing, but it like also bales it up. It like ties up chunks of it,
Whenever I say
then spits
bail,
it
I
out.
mean compact, but yes. But yeah, the one I've got, it's like a stand-up one. You put a giant hook on it, and then it bails out the compacted cardboard / corrugated paper.
So one day I came in and our truck was like late, our delivery. So when that happens, they just have us like to look busy. So I guess nobody ends up getting sent home because if one of the bigwigs comes around like, "Yo, there's nothing to do. We better send these people home. We can't afford all of this." Meanwhile they're walking around in a $500 suit. They can, shove it up their ass. They have us just clean stuff. So we'll just be like wiping down everything with like, this. It's basically Windex. Um, I got a cart and I got, paper towels. I got a box for the used, paper towels so I can throw it in there and then throw it in the trash. And then I got, the Windex. And this customer just walks by while I'm like wiping something down, grabs the Windex, sprays it on his hands, rubs his hands together to clean his hands. And I'm just like, what the fuck? He did it so quick I couldn't have stopped him, but I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That's not hand sanitizer.
Well, hold on now. Ammonia kills stuff.
It's Windex.
It's got ammonia in it. It'll kill germs. Is this the part where we tell people about the hazardous gas
What hazardous gas?
that ammonia makes if you mix it with another cleaning ingredient?
Oh yeah. I don't think we can talk about that though.
Oh man, don't do it. You guys will die. So then I worked with this lady, right? And she's like, "Man, I mixed these two chemicals together to make like the ultimate spray." And I went, "Bruh, what do you mean you made that as a spray?" The fumes it makes is very toxic. Don't do it.
Yeah. But all right. Go ahead. Tell me more horrible things.
All right, one job I had by law that I'm understanding it, all forklifts have to have a horn. So you obviously know that 7,000-pound death machines rolling around. But all the horns on the forklift where I worked are broken, so we can't afford to fix them. So they bought everyone an air horn. Right? So these forklifts are going around with just siren wailing air horns to let you know that they're behind you. He goes, "Weep," or however an air horn sounds. It was brilliant.
I spaced out. What the fuck did you say?
Oh man, you'll have to hear it again in post. This part of the movie where I talk about, I don't know.
No, you're not talking about Raid Shadow Legends. We're
Oh,
not
we're talking about
sponsored and never will
War
be.
Thunder.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that game either.
Warhawk. Great game, PlayStation 3. Anyone who knows what it is, you're a real one.
Oh no, I'm thinking War Thunder.
That's what I just said. War Thunder.
No, I'm getting confused. I thought first when you said the greatest PS3 game or whatever, it was. I thought you were talking about
You're
your.
not paying attention because he would know I said both things.
I'm so spaced out. I'm losing it. So I don't know why we do it, but we sell tomatoes on the vine, right? And then we have the same tomatoes on a vine in a package. And it's by the pound, so it doesn't matter. And we keep having people go to the packages that somehow always look better. I don't know how. And they rip the package open to take it. They think they're getting oh, if I do this, it's gonna be cheaper up at the register. Like it's the same price. All you've done is ruin the package that somebody took time to do.
Oh no.
And it's just like it drives me up the wall.
I've seen kids use the scooters as bumper cars.
Scooters.
Be like 10 o'clock at night, some teenagers will hop on there and just start beating into each other, and I went,
What scooters?
The scooters that the old people are supposed to use.
Oh yeah. That sounds fun, but only for like
Yeah, they're
5
out there
minutes.
just beating into each other like bumper cars. I'm like, oh.
Like it sounds fun, but like they go like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, but that's fast if you're a teenager.
And what's crappy with the ones at my store is they see overnight we plug them in so they all fully charge by morning. And I'm assuming in the morning the first people that use them, it's fine. Like it's got a full charge. It can probably last like an hour or so. And then when they're done, they get plugged back in, or sometimes they don't, and the next person uses them. But I straight up had a time once. So somebody drove one through the store, they got to my area, it stopped working. The battery's dead. So I'm like, all right, give me a minute, I'll go get you a new one. I went to get a new one. I drove it halfway from where they keep them to my department. It fucking died. So I had to get up, drag it back, plug it in, grab another one, and drive that one all the way back. And like by that time, the person's been waiting like fucking 10 minutes because the thing goes so slow. I pull it up next to them. I take their stuff and I put it in for them, drag the other one back, and I think that one died halfway back up. So they had to get it replaced again. I'm like, bro, what gives? Why is it garbage?
Because they didn't change the battery properly.
Yeah, they need to. But what's funny is whenever there's a floor cleaning for the night, like we get a crew that comes in, they do like a deep clean. They gotta get like anything cardboard off the floor. And like any grocery carts, anything that's not nailed down has to be moved. So then we get like this whole fleet of workers just driving all like 20 of those things to the back. It's so funny. They're all going like 2 miles an hour. They look miserable.
Let's go.
All right. Tell me more stories.
I don't know. I think I've exhausted all the good ones.
Well, I have a bunch more. So while you're thinking,
I don't have much retail experience other than the bumper car thing because I've done manufacturing my whole work career.
I see. Well, I got a bunch more, so
management makes some pretty questionable choices. Like the time they gave everyone Employee Appreciation Day. So to show their appreciation for everyone working 10 hours, 6 days, 7 days a week, they bought everyone a plastic shovel and pail.
I would have quit.
Everyone disliked that.
That is fucking just an insult.
But it gets better because my first year there, I got a $1.50 raise. And that year, if you had worked 20 years, you got a whole dime.
Yep, that's how it be. That's how they get rid of the old people.
Like it was on a big board, like big screenshots. 1 to 5 years, $1.50. 5 to 10 years, 75 cents. 20 or more years, 10 cents.
I quite literally, I wouldn't have even said I was quitting. I would have just dropped my name tag on the floor and walked out.
I got more money than someone who'd been there 20 years older than me. Most of the people there are older than me. Let's go. I was only 19. Woohoo! That dude probably was very upset, though. Not that I could blame him. 20 years, you got a dime raise. I got $1.50. That was nice for me. Not so much for those guys.
Yeah. So I got another one. We got a lady came in. I think this was actually, might have been last year or so. She asked for, in the herb section, lemongrass. Now, at this time, we stopped carrying that. We haven't had it in a year. And by this point, 2 years, because this was like a year ago. And so I just told her, like, oh, I'm sorry, we haven't carried that item in a year. So, do you have it anywhere? Is it in the back, maybe? And I'm just like, bruh. We don't have it. We don't carry it anymore.
You ruined her day.
She ruined my day. She asked me, I said, we don't even carry that. And they're like, could it perhaps be in the back room somewhere? Like, we don't carry it!
There might be one that rolled under a shelf. You never know.
Ew. That shit was bad like 1 week after we got it.
Have a bold new smell.
Yeah. Alright, so whenever we get a corn display, we have a big trash can so people can, shuck the corn and whatever. And you would think, if people had, a brain cell, just one, maybe even half of one, you'd be like, oh, I'll shuck my corn, I'll put my junk into the can. Makes sense. No. People will just straight up shred it right on the display and leave it there. I recently had a dude. I had the thing there. I was like, I see him, he's just shucking it, he's just like, he's getting a bunch, and he's just piling up what he's peeling off. And I just start grabbing it, and I'm putting it in the trash. He continues to just put it on the display. Like, I'm like showing the dude right there. It goes in the trash can. Motherfucker. I wish I could slap people. What I keep proposing to my coworkers is that we all quit. And I think it's a series of restaurants now. You'll see videos of them online where you go in and the wait staff is on purpose rude to you. Like, you order something like really fatty or whatever, and they're just like, I think you should be eating a salad, fat ass. Like, they're on purpose just completely rude to you, and it's just part of the experience. I'm like, we need to make a grocery store where we're like that. So someone comes in and they're like, yo, you got this? And I'm like, I'm afraid not. And they want to like go, oh, is it in the back? I'm like, I just said we don't have it, fucking dipshit. People would be so happy there because we'd be able to fucking bitch. It's the problem is, like, at these jobs, you gotta be super respectful, and these people are not respectful in the slightest. and it gets really irritating. And it hurts my soul so much.
You can hear your soul with insert paid promotion here.
Never. Now, every so often, there's a spill of some kind, and I go to, like, particularly if it's wet, it's like something I can usually just put a card over the area, and I get the mop, and I come back, and I mop it up, and I put a sign down, and I'm done. But usually if it's a glass breakage, like, I block the aisle off, both ends, because I gotta go in and I gotta sweep up all the glass very meticulously, and then I gotta maybe mop up some liquid or whatever was in there. And I shit you not, I get people that will walk up to the little aisle, and they see that I'm cleaning, shattered glass. They see a cart's in the way. They just push the cart aside and come in to shop, and they're just stepping all over the glass, and I'm like,
Didn't tag out the aisle. You just tagged it out.
I'm like, and I've had to snap at people a bit. I'm like, excuse me, there's shattered glass here. Please do not walk here.
And then she'll say,
and then they're like, oh, okay. I didn't realize. I'm like, how did you not realize?
Because...
Do you not see the huge shattered jar everywhere?
They thought it was plastic. No one knows what glass is anymore. What's glass?
My soul. It hurts. I hate that so much. Oh my God.
I believe.
So, let's see. You got anything? Or should I just barrel through the rest of mine?
I don't think I have anything much left that I can think of.
Alright, I'll just finish mine then. So I'm one day I'm stalking the avocados, and how I do it is I got the box, I grab one, and I just kind of grab it quickly, move my hand over the display, and just roll it out of my hand, right? And I just do that very, very quickly so I get it done. This lady walks by and says, "Stop throwing the avocados, you're gonna bruise them." And I'm like, these things are rock solid, because they're as fresh as possible. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Bruise them. I could throw these across the store and nothing is gonna happen. They are harder than stone, basically. I'm like, fucking stupid people. I had a similar thing with the apples once. I was straightening up the apples really quick, and this lady come by and just you're gonna bruise the apples. Be more careful. And I'm just like, why the fuck does this lady care? I'm not even doing anything that hard. I come to find out, she was the previous manager at this store in the department.
She got that muscle memory.
And I'm like, so you showed up at your former workplace and started just telling people what to do. It's
it's a force of habit. She couldn't break it.
See, if I get another job and I'm back to the store, and if I happen to go through the produce, I will go up to my former coworkers and be like, yo, you're not doing this right, just to, annoy them. I don't really give a shit what they're doing. But if it was somebody I don't know and they're completely fucking up, I'm not gonna say a word. It ain't my fucking problem anymore. And this is two different people. I haven't seen her in a while. Maybe she actually did shop at another store, but I think maybe the second or third year I was there, over the summer, the carrots, the little baby carrots and whatever we got, there'll be a lot of condensation because of how it comes out of a cooled warehouse. It goes onto a truck. It gets a little warm in the transition. Then it comes off of that cooled truck, gets warm again, goes in a cooler. Then it comes out on the floor. It gets a little warm before it goes into the cooled display. So a lot of condensation builds up. This lady, one time, she saw it, and she was like, "These are no good." I'm like, "What's wrong?" Like, "Look at all this water in here. This is going bad." I'm like, "Ma'am, that's condensation. That just happens." A year goes by, it's the next summer. The same woman shows up and gives the thing again. I said, "Ma'am, it's condensation. It comes off of the truck, and the truck is cool. It comes into a hot back room, goes into a cooler. This just happens. It's going bad." No, it's not. Just shut up,
How
please.
dare you call the customer wrong?
She is wrong. The customer is all. The saying is the customer is always right, but it should be the customer is often wrong.
No, you can't say that. It's wrong. The customer, without the customer, you have no money. So they're always right. Even with the customer's wrong.
All right. So here we get. Similar thing. Someone else. There's condensation in the celery. Hands it to me. It's like, this is spoiled. But at this point, I had learned to like, how about I just not argue back with them? And I'm like, if somebody hands me something and says it's bad and I can clearly see nothing's wrong with it, I'll be like, all right, thanks. Wait for them to go around the corner and then I put it back.
Oh, giving out your secrets.
That's what we do. Like if it's if you hand me something that's like all moldy, I'll be like, oh no. Then like that actually gets tossed. But if you hand me something and you think it's no good and I'm like, I look at it and I can clearly see there is nothing wrong with it at all. Person just doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm just like, yes, of course. I'll get rid of this. So as soon as they're gone, it goes right back on the shelf. Because 9 times out of 10, these people hand me shit that's perfectly fine.
Maybe they don't like vegetables.
I guess. All right. Getting into more recent territory. Some lady came in. She asked for half of a watermelon.
Right on.
So we got some watermelon in the back. We have some that's chopped into like slices, and then we have stuff that's chopped into quarters. So I don't have any halves exactly. So I brought her 2 quarters, and I go like, this is the equivalent of half of a watermelon. She asks, well, what's the price of a full watermelon instead? It turns out it's cheaper. Who would have thought? She asked me to pick out a good one for her, and I hand her one. She looks at it. She grabs a different one that is, like, practically identical from her cart that she's had the entire time and puts it in the display, and then takes the one I handed her. I'm like, what was the fucking point? You already had a watermelon in the first place.
In her mind, because a worker gave it to her, she believes that you would know what you're doing and gave her something that is not rotten.
But it's the same. The watermelons looked identical. I think they were twins.
Maybe she didn't slap it. You gotta slap the melons. If they go ka-ting, then you're good. But if it thonk, it goes. I don't know which one's better, but I just know if it's hollow, you're good to go.
So this person came in. Hi, I'm looking for Pepperidge Farms cakes. Said Pepperidge Farms cakes? No, they said yes, and they're frozen. Sorry, you said they're frozen? Like, keep in mind, I'm hard of hearing. Like, I'm just trying to verify what they're saying. They said, never mind, and they just stormed off. I'm just like, huh? Like, I'm trying to fucking help you, what the fuck?
You did not meet their expectations.
They asked me something, and I'm like, this is what you're looking for? And they're just like, fine, never mind. Like, bruh, you didn't even let me help you. This one. Oh, this is gonna hurt your soul. This is gonna hurt your OSHA violation soul backs. Although, My only involvement is just witnessing it. I was
And you
completely
didn't tell
powerless.
nobody. Oh snap!
I was powerless in this situation.
See something, say
Listen,
something.
listen, listen,
Come on
listen,
now.
listen to the story before you make judgment calls. I'm doing some cardboard and I'm waiting for the machine to like do its thing. A manager is unloading, I think it was like water or maybe soda off of a truck. He stops halfway because the phone's ringing. So he comes off the truck, goes off to answer the phone for like a minute or two. And then suddenly I just hear the sound of like, an engine going. Like it's
Uh-oh.
not the truck starts pulling away with some product and a not a forklift exactly, an electric jack.
The pallet jack or the hand truck or so?
Yeah, the pallet jack on there. It's still on there, and the guy's pulling away, and we have a little metal ramp that you put up when the truck gets in, and that just clatters to the ground. The truck's going on. The receiving manager just like bursts out the door, and he's just like, "Get back here, you fucking idiot!" I'm like, if the phone hadn't rung, this guy could have just fallen off at the right time. Well, at the wrong time.
That happened at my job. Except the dude was actually on a sit-down forklift. So he's in there taking material off of the thing, and the truck just starts pulling off. And he's still stuck there. And the truck gets out to the parking lot until he realizes that he kidnapped our forklift driver. So they get back there. I don't know how they got him out. I guess, obviously, with the ramp. But, yeah, the forklift was still in the trailer when that truck started pulling out.
But yeah, I'm just like, so this guy just pulled up, hooked up to the truck, everything, didn't come in to check the truck was empty. I'm like, that guy got fired that day. There's no question about that.
Did they put the little stops in front of the wheels?
I guess not.
Yeah, that would, from how I never messed with shipping all that much. Well, one thing they always did is they turned the key off, and they may even hand the key in some places. But they always put things in front of the wheels that would make it impossible for the truck to move.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they're called though. But so that stuff like that wouldn't happen.
But yeah, I just know that man.
Yeah, he get fired.
Oh yeah. I had a question one day. Someone came up to me and said, "Do you have really sweet grapes?"
Really sweet.
Really, I'm like, what is really sweet supposed to mean? Like, how the fuck would I know? Do you think I sit here snacking on them and grading them myself?
Or maybe
Like,
you should.
oh boy, we got some sour grapes today. I wanted to say that, but I didn't.
I might go put some sugar on some grapes now just to see what happens.
It wasn't like that. It's just like it's supposed to be some grapes maybe they're grown a different way or something, and they end up just having a sweeter taste to them. I'm like, I was just asking this person, is this like a brand of some kind? Is it a special type? I didn't get any information out of them. They're just like, oh, I guess you don't have them. They moved on. Had this other person that came in. They asked for bean sprouts. And I said, no, we don't have those right now. Sorry. I continue to do my work. I look back. They're still standing there. Do you have bean sprouts? I said, no, we don't have it. This is the worst store I have ever shopped at. Never anything I need is in stock. Whoever's ordering isn't ordering enough. And I explained, like, they do order this stuff. They order it every day. And I can tell you actually that it's just currently not available. There, like, we get these little emails that come in, whatever, and it says like, oh, this item is, it's back ordered, so it won't be here until like this day or whatever. So I said, like, what you could do is, if you call the store, call in the morning, I'd say as early as like 10:30 or 11, you can see if it's come in, and then all you have to do then is just ask, like, hey, can you set a few aside for me? So they said, no, I'll just check next time I come in. I'm like, then don't fucking Ask me for assistance.
Customer satisfaction.
Yeah, I'll give them some satisfaction. I'll give them a knuckle sandwich right between the eyes.
You can't say that. You might get snitched upon.
Never. Anyways,
Man,
that is all the garbage I have to rant about
I
at
want a
this
customer
time.
who ever asks me if we have knuckle sandwiches in stock. And if they say yes and they hit me, people will be dying.